Hello, Bashar.
And a you good day.
That brings me to a question that I have. It's kind of a mixed question. I have a little confusion.
Well, that would make sense.
It does. Earlier today, you mentioned resonating with the void, and I hadn't heard that before, but the second that you said it, I realized that I resonate with the void.
All right.
And I'm also on my Shivai.
Yes.
Can you...
Which is a word in our ancient language that we no longer use that really can be summed up with, I'm on a mission, get out of my way.
So if I'm resonating with the void,
Yes.
and I'm on my Shivai,
Yes.
can you help me understand the integration of that?
Out of the nothing comes everything. So if you truly resonate with the void, you will understand what it is to live so in the moment that you simply know beyond a shadow of a doubt that what you need will be there exactly when you need it, not a second before, but not a second later.
Okay, so I sort of picture it as just falling backward into nothingness.
Whatever design your imagination chooses to represent it as that is correct for you is correct for you. It can be imagined in any number of ways.
So there's really there's no conflict to those two.
Conflict in what sense?
In the sense that it seems path represents kind of a doing, and resonating with the void seems kind of a being.
The balance of the two is the key. Because again, remember, as we said, being doesn't mean that you're sitting still. Being doesn't mean you're not acting. Look at the concept that you call some of your martial arts. When the martial arts master is fully in the moment, fully being, there is such a purity of action representing that being that they absolutely are in equilibrium with any so-called opposing force to such an extent that then they are not moving relative to one another. So the slightest touch on that thing will then send it in another direction because there is no force to overcome. So total being and total action in alignment together allows for perfect equilibrium and perfect synchronicity. Does that make sense?
It does, so it's complete fluidity.
Yes. Does that help you?
It does.
Then flow.
Thank you.
Hi, Bashar.
And a you good day.
I would like some more information about parallel realities.
All right.
You talked on one of your videos about 2012 and how we might experience the phenomenon of people disappearing out of our lives rather dramatically or suddenly.
You may be experiencing a lot of that already or may have yet to experience it. Please understand, first of all of you, that when we talk about the demarcation line of 2012 that represents many threshold crossings, we don't always mean that the changes that we're talking about will happen in the twinkling of an eye the next day. Sometimes it may take some time because of whatever it is you decide is the process you need to experience. In general, many changes are already taking place, and many more will continue to take place on the other side of that threshold.
So it doesn't mean my parents won't be contactable suddenly?
Repeat.
It doesn't mean that suddenly people I know are not going to be in my reality, period. It just means that they'll be less frequently in my reality.
It can happen in the blink of an eye. It can happen less frequently. It can happen over a long period of time. It can not happen at all. The idea simply is that it will happen in whatever way is appropriate for your particular experience or expression of how you shift to a parallel reality where you do or don't need to experience something that is not your vibration. You understand? Different realities contain within them the ability to still experience certain things that may be more or less your vibration. Other realities contain within them only the experience of what is exactly your vibration. It depends upon the rate that you shift into those different reality vibrations that determines the rate at which things come and go from your experiential reality. So it's a personal thing. It's a case-by-case thing. You could experience it in the blink of an eye. You could experience it over time. It will depend upon the reason for the rate of change. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right.
So with regard to the exercise we did this morning,
Yes.
where we had to visualize our better or more preferred self.
It is not better.
More preferred.
Yes, more preferred doesn't mean better, just
Okay.
different. More representative of what you believe your true vibration is.
Does that visualized reality actually exist?
Yes, that's what we're saying. All parallel realities already exist. The idea of focusing on it is that you're simply allowing yourself to change the frequency enough so that you can shift to what already exists. Everything already exists. The only thing that's new is your experience of it from a different perspective. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You cannot imagine non-existence. Try. I use the word try now because I know it won't work. You cannot imagine nor have an experience by definition of non-existence. So anything that you imagine is experientially real on some level of creation. It may not be relevant to your level of creation, but it is nonetheless real in its own context, on its own level of existence. So anything you imagine is real and exists right now. Does that make sense?
But in terms of manifestation, you often say that don't expect to get what you visualize.
We are describing the idea of how you use the mechanism, because very often when your people put an expectation on things, it's an insistence that if it doesn't happen exactly as they pictured it, that something is wrong. The idea also is that your physical mind is not capable of perceiving the whole picture all the time. So to insist on the picture your physical mind was capable of conjuring, you could be shortchanging yourself by the fact that you're only seeing and insisting upon a manifestation of half the picture. So we say drop the expectation so that you're actually not limiting yourself to the limitations of what the physical mind is capable of imagining, and open up to the possibility that you could actually receive something in a greater way, a different way than you originally pictured it. That's why we say drop the expectation, so you can actually allow the manifestation to occur on the level that matches the energy that the picture represents, but doesn't necessarily have to match the actual picture, because the actual picture your mind had might actually be far shorter, in a sense, far more limited than what could actually manifest to you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Does that help?
Yes.
Thank you.
Could I possibly ask one more thing?
Well, that was a question. So I guess you can.
Do you have any insights about the upcoming crop circle season in England?
One moment. We will check in with someone.
Thank you.
Look for 3 trinary manifestations. We will say more after they appear.
Trinary.
Yes. Constructed along triangular or trinary lines. Look for 3 trinary manifestations. 3 shapes, 3 circles, so to speak, 3 glyphs based on the idea of tetrahedral or triangular structure. All right?
Thank you.
3 times 3. All right?
Thanks.
Thank you.
Hi, Bashar.
And you, good day.
I had a question. I feel like I've made a pretty strong connection to my guides in the last 6 months or so, and I just wondered if there's anything more you could tell me about them.
I thought you said you made a pretty strong connection.
True.
So what do they tell you?
They tell me lots of things.
Such as? Do they tell you, go and ask Bashar if you're right?
No.
No.
So I guess what it comes down to with me is just, my own doubt.
Which is? Define doubt?
Well,
Define doubt?
not trusting.
No. Define doubt? A 100% trust in a belief you don't prefer.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You are never not trusting. It's
Yeah.
never a lack of trust. No such thing as a lack of trust.
Right.
A trust in something you don't prefer, yes, but you never lack trust.
Right.
So, what are your guides telling you?
Well, they tell me lots of things.
Such as?
Well, I've gotten names from them, and
How does that help you?
well, I guess with me, I just feel like I have a problem with worrying that it's just my imagination and not just concrete.
You have a problem
Guidance.
wondering if it's just your imagination or
Yeah,
if it's
my-
something concrete.
Yeah, I guess I just don't understand my
All
imagination.
right, perhaps what you need is simply one word to bring it all into focus. Not wondering whether it's real or just your imagination or concrete. As we said, anything you can imagine is on some level real. Do you understand that concept?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that's not really even the point.
Right.
What is the point? The point is summed up in one word: relevance. Is the information relevant to your life? If it is, apply it. If it isn't, let it go.
Right.
Period. You don't have to spend time wondering, are they real? Is this my imagination? Am I hearing them correctly?
Yeah.
Just, is what I heard relevant?
Right.
Period. End of story. Done. Simple, clean, precise, efficient. Unless, of course, you love spending time wondering if it's real. Now, if you want to do that, by all means, please continue. I will never take your fun away from you. However, if you simply are really wanting to ask the appropriate question, then it's, is what I'm perceiving relevant? Is it applicable in my life? Will it help me make the changes I prefer to make? Yes, no. End of
Right.
story. Does that
Yeah.
help you?
Yeah, that helps.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
Thank you very much for your wisdom. It's been amazing.
Again, it is simply a reflection of what you all already know, but you have forgotten that you know. So we thank you for allowing us to remind you, to remind you of who you are.
Okay.
Remember, we have a little trick that we use in these interactions, and that is, even though you are conversing with us, we are, in a sense, a mask that we place upon your own higher mind. Every single one of you, when you speak with us, have been speaking with your own higher mind, thinking you're speaking with us.
Makes
So-
sense. Yes.
You are thus then, in thanking us, thanking your own higher mind, thanking yourself. So we thank you for thanking yourself.
You're welcome, I think.
We are.
Okay, I have a question about a particular feeling I have.
A particular feeling,
Yes, and I'm trying.
which comes from a belief.
Yes.
All right.
Exactly.
What is the feeling?
It's a feeling of resentment.
Ooh.
Yes, I know.
How
Yucky.
exciting. What part of yourself do you resent the most?
Yes, it's all this work I did on a book,
All this work I
Yes.
did on a book.
and I tried.
It was not something that you were excited about.
It was. It was when I was doing it.
When did it not become something you were
When I
excited about?
tried to sell it.
When you tried.
No, sorry.
to sell it.
I didn't sell it.
Do you understand the secret of selling?
Maybe not.
You never, ever, ever try to sell anything.
Okay.
You sell yourself.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yes.
You are simply putting yourself out there and showing others, demonstrating by example to others what drives you, what excites you, what you are passionate about, without the need in any way, shape, or form to sell them anything. Trust me, if they are sold on you, they will want what you have.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes.
They will want to know how. How can I do that?
Yes.
And then You can suggest various things. You can even suggest the idea of the book. But the idea is that you don't have to sell the book. You simply need to truly just do what it is you do because that's what you enjoy doing. You don't need to do things to achieve a goal, to achieve a particular manifestation, to achieve a fruition, because that's expectation and it's putting conditions on your excitement.
Right.
Do what excites you because it excites you. You don't need another reason. Every single act is an act unto itself. That's it.
Yeah.
There is no need to assume that if you write a book, it has to do anything other than having been written.
Yes.
Because if that's what excited you, that's what excited you.
Right.
The idea is that if you're simply passionate about the ideas that you expressed in there, and you simply share that because it's your passion to do so, then people might want to know, oh, where can I learn more about this? Oh, well, I did write a book about it. Oh, really? Let me see. Oh, I'll buy this from you, please. May I? Do you understand?
Yes.
You don't have to sell the book. You
Right.
just have to be yourself.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. What I need to get past at this point
Yes.
is that lingering resentment when I'm writing.
Why do you have lingering resentment when you're doing something you say represents your excitement?
And that's my problem now. I'm thinking, is this really my joy? Is this really what I want to do?
Oh,
Or is
well,
it-
all right.
So that's my problem.
Oh, all right. Well, it's just a challenge. It doesn't have to be a problem. And it may simply be that you're bringing it to your attention that maybe some other expression would actually be more representative of your
Yes.
highest joy. But there's no need to resent that. Remember, please, please remember, sometimes the way that you have been taught to live life, it's actually easier for you to figure out what it is you really are by momentarily seeing what it is you're not. So sometimes the things that really aren't you are there for the purpose of more clearly delineating the things that are. So don't put them down, don't resent them.
Yeah.
The idea is that if that thing is not representative of your true excitement, then by doing it and feeling what you're feeling, it has shown you that it may not be what excites you. Now, of course, again, the caveat is you have to be careful and pay attention to whether or not you're simply defining it as something that's not your excitement because of your definitions, when in fact it could be.
Yeah.
You have to be clear about your definitions, because you may have definitions that make it seem like it's not exciting just because you have all of these conditions that you're putting on it that make it not exciting. So it may be exciting, but you may not be doing it in the way that excites you the most because of the way you think you have to go about it, and that might be what you resent. Do you understand?
Yes.
But the idea is that first and foremost, check to make sure that whatever it is you say at any given moment excites you, you're doing in the most exciting way you possibly could. And then if it really isn't the most exciting expression you can think of, then do what is. Because the idea of resentment is, again, that you're simply resenting yourself for forcing yourself to do something you're not really that passionate about.
You're right.
You understand?
I totally understand.
Does this help you? Yes. So what does excite you?
I like to argue.
Well, all right. Does that mean you're going to go into the legal profession? Or does that mean you're going to be a debater?
I'm already a lawyer, so it's.
All right.
Don't hate me, people, please. I'm a good guy.
Don't hate yourself.
Right.
So,
Totally.
is there a way you could be expressing the idea of debate in a more exciting way than what you're doing?
Possibly, yes.
And in your imagination, what might be one such more exciting way?
Well, maybe.
Come.
Maybe government. That was what I was thinking.
Maybe
but
what?
Government.
In what context?
Advocating.
Advocating.
Yes.
For what?
Change.
What kind of change?
Very specifically, getting money out of government.
Getting money out of government.
The money out of government, yeah.
Are you talking about the idea of a sidestep, or is it something that you can actually deal with more directly rather than assuming you have to walk down this path in order to allow this to occur?
No, that's a good question.
Thank you. We often ask them. I will not, in a sense, debate this further at the moment, but you might want to simply take some time to consider that there might actually be more direct methodologies, because our definition of abundance is simply the ability to do what you need to do when you need to do it, whether it contains the idea of money or not. Now, sometimes it might require it, and if it does, then the synchronicity in your life should bring you circumstances that will show you that money can be had, and it will come to you automatically. But when it doesn't, that doesn't mean you can't do what you need to do. You just need to be a little bit more imaginative about how you go about opening the doors of abundance.
Right.
Because things can come to you in a variety of ways. If you don't believe they can, of course, they won't.
Right.
You understand?
Yes, I do.
So you need to have a broader definition of the idea of abundance.
Yes.
What's your last name?
Rush.
Stop. You are an eternal, infinite spirit. What's your rush? All right?
Yes.
Does this help you?
It does very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
So I have a question about what's happening in Japan.
Yes, but we are going to address this in what you call the near future.
Okay. So,
What
You
is
know-
your question nonetheless?
so a lot of devastation
Yes.
is happening, but at the same time, I'm seeing a lot of, in many people,
Yes.
love and
Yes.
this feeling of wanting to help out other people.
Yes.
And that's really exciting.
Yes.
And so I see a lot of positive things coming out of it.
Yes.
And at the same time, there's this continuing fear
Yes.
around,
Very polarizing, isn't it?
yes,
Yes.
nuclear.
Did you catch our point?
Not really.
All right.
I mean, I do see the polarizing.
As we have said, you are now approaching a crossing of a threshold wherein the trains that are leaving the station are starting to leave on tracks that are starting to diverge from each other more and more and more, creating very distinct realities whose vibrations are very different from one another. The point is, be on the train you want to be on, because the farther apart the trains get, the more polarized the vibration is that you choose in that sense. That will determine the reality you ultimately shift to. So these are opportunities to understand polarized choices. Do you go into fear? Do you go into a positive response that can determine what next parallel reality you experience and what you are inspired to do in terms of your action to represent the idea that that's the parallel reality you prefer?
Yes,
Do you understand?
yes,
So this is an opportunity for people to decide which polarity they prefer. You don't abandon the idea of the opposite polarity as a choice, but it simply becomes an equally valid choice that you don't have to choose. Make sense?
yes,
Does this help?
yes.
All right.
So a larger number of people are getting this more direct choice in their life to make that decision.
And that area, in that sense, has, by the choices they have made and the general consequences they knew might result from those choices in terms of probability and physical reality, are now giving the world an opportunity to make certain decisions about what they do and don't prefer their world to be, in a variety of ways. This will continue to have repercussions for quite some time and give many people on your planet many opportunities to decide what it is they prefer for their planet in a variety of ways. All right?
Yes,
Does this help you?
yes, thank you.
Thank you. Now then, we will at this timing allow you a short break of only a few 100,000 parallel realities. And we will allow you to set up for your holotope experience. We will resume this transmission at that time. How's it going? Or it'll say we will continue the transmission in the following way. All of you allow yourselves to take a deep breath in and let it out. Take a deep breath in and let it out. One more deep breath in and hold it, hold it, hold it, and blow it out. Now allow yourselves to simply breathe evenly, deeply, gently. Allow yourself the opportunity to let go of those things that are not the vibration of what you prefer, of who you prefer to be. Relax your thoughts. Let go of your worries. Soothe your heart, your mind, your body, your soul. Let them blend and meld into one. As you look upon the configuration before you, I remind you briefly that you are looking poetically into the eye of God, the eye of creation. And at the same time, you are looking at your own reflection in the mirror of reality. But more than just a general idea, more than just a metaphor, you are truly looking at a reflection of the structure of your energy pattern. On one level, this is actually an accurate reflection of how we sense you. All the lines of energy, all the lines of light, each leads to new information, each is connected to parallel realities, each is a parallel reality unto itself, a universe unto itself in the multiverse of all that is, on all levels, physical, non-physical, extra-dimensional. Allow yourself to see those lines of light and energy vibrating, plucked like the chords of an instrument, creating tones, vibrations, resonance within you. And with each pluck of that string, a new chord, it connects vibrationally with another parallel reality, another probable reality, another possible experience for you. But look upon this reflection, this multitudinous array, this geometric pattern as your reflection, as a being of light, as a being of energy. You are connected to all things. All things are connected to you. All realities are here and now. Here and now. And you have access to all of them. All of them. All of them. Those that have higher degrees of relevancy to you will vibrate most strongly in your symphony of light and sound, in the chords and strings of your mind and heart, your body and soul, and the internal song that will resonate out from you in your aura, your energy field, your bubble of electromagnetic light, racing outward with every heartbeat at the speed of light to engulf and encompass the entirety of your world and every being in it immersed in each other's bubbles of electromagnetic light expanding outward to infinity with every beat of your heart. And billions and billions and billions of times per second do you shift and shift and shift and shift, constantly plucking chords, constantly creating a new symphony of light and sound that shifts your consciousness, shifts your perspective, shifts your focus through the eyes of another you in another reality, a parallel world of possibilities, infinite possibilities, infinite experience, infinite variations, infinite diversity, infinite unity. Float, float, float in that sea of love, light, and sound. Just drink it in, for this is you, in all your possible forms, in all your possible connections, in all your possible thoughts and imaginings, feelings and actions. This is you. You are a shapeshifter, a chameleon. You are patterns upon patterns upon patterns upon patterns, to great depth, to great heights. You fill the infinite, the void, the here and now, the all that is. For there is no outside to you. There is only you. There is only all that is. And the all are the one, and the one is the all. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. Let the rhythm of your breathing be the rhythm of your dance with eternity. Of your conversation with infinity. Of your communion with the totality of creation. For you are a nexus point where all the lines of light cross and come together. You are the hub of all possible experiential realities. You are the focal point of all probable parallel experiences. You, here and now, have access to all that you need and all that you are. Let those vibrations slide down the lines of light into your heart, mind, body, and soul. Drift in the arms of the infinite, floating on a sea of unconditional love. And feel all of the neurological pathways of your brain aligning to this pattern, aligning to this matrix, aligning to this network of connections that exists in the core of your being, rippling through your consciousness, out to infinity and back again to the center of all creation, the here and now, reflected back from the mirror, for this is your true image in light. This is who and what you are. This is all the yous that you can be. all here, all now, but a shift away. However you choose to define who and what you believe yourself, you prefer yourself, you know yourself to be. Breathe it in, breathe it in, breathe it out. And breathe it in and lock it in to your crystalline pattern, your crystalline matrix, your crystalline being. Light and sound, love and light. Clear as a bell, ringing in the night. The sound of all that is. Now, as you gaze upon this web of light, feel yourself spiraling inward and outward simultaneously in all the fractal patterns of growth, expansion, contraction, destruction and rebuilding, in and out, up and down, all the polarities, all the opposites, all the paradoxes contained within the one. Spiraling, spiraling up and down, in and out, back and forth. Feel that spinning within every cell, within every atom, vibrating within you, energizing every component of your being. Realigning, realigning, realigning with the vibration at your core, your true, natural self. Let go of all that is not you. Accept all that has brought you to where you are. In letting go, you allow all to be part of you. And after that acceptance and that allowance, you can let go of choices you no longer prefer, while simultaneously unconditionally loving all that you are and all that you are not. For all that you are not has taught you all that you are. And without the darkness, there is no concept of the light. Be at peace with yourself. For you are beautiful in the eye of creation. And were you not a part of that beauty, were you not a part of all that is, were you not unconditionally loved, you would not exist. Rejoice in your existence. Feel the gratitude within you, not only toward creation, but from creation, filling you up. For each and every one of you is another way that all that is has of rejoicing and celebrating all that it is. You are each a gift. Unwrap yourselves and rejoice at what you have received from all that is. The beauty, the perfection that is you. Take now a moment and revel in the fullness of your being and be at peace and be one with yourself and all that is. Breathe it in and breathe it out and make it your own with every breath. This vibration and the image you created as your symbol and representation of your ideal self and your ideal reality will always change, but always will it be representative of the vibration that is truly you. And that is an indestructible constant. In the midst of all the changes, you will always exist. We caress each and every one of your hearts with our unconditional love and deep gratitude and appreciation and allowance at the co-creation of this interaction and this new parallel reality wherein you are new people for the very first time. Live as such, and every moment will be as the first. For all moments are here and now. Choose who you prefer to be and act in that intention. Allow yourselves now to crystallize the parallel reality of your choosing as you emerge from this experience, this reflection, and know that this is always within you to draw upon. This vibration is yours, uniquely yours. Call upon it, rest in it, revel in it anytime you wish. If there is anything in creation that is impossible, it is this. It is impossible to express in your language how deeply we love you. Our love to you and to all of you. Blessings and good day. Awaken to your new selves. Awaken to your new life. Awaken to your new reality. Awaken and be at peace. We thank you. Did you all enjoy that? Yeah.